Hello, it's Loveth. I don't want to waste your time. I just want to tell you the secret to scoring a very high mark in your Postutme, especially UI Postutme. Now, let me tell you something. I got 90 over 100 in my UI Postutme. So I just want to share with you and break down with you every single thing that I did to make sure that I passed my exam well. So I just have a list of things that I did here. So I'm just going to tell you so that you can use it when you want to write your exam, because you never know. So now, first of all, is that I want you to note that the way I prepared for my youth Poshitemi is different from the way I prepared for my jam. Meaning that jam, you can camp questions, you can just like know the answers to something, like basically. But in Poshitemi, you have to know the reason why you have that answer. You have to know the source, the origin. You have to know where it leads to. You have to know the in betweens. You have to be really, really grounded in that particular topic, or in that part, or if it's a question, you have to know the rudiments of that question so that you'll be able to get it, even if it's twisted in another way. Another thing you need to know is that for me, you have to put a lot of focus there, because there are many people that they've gotten their jam already. You shouldn't rely on your jam for your me. You should, even if you have 300 plus, assume you have nothing, so that you'll be able to prepare for at least 100 over 100 in your me. So let's get into it. So first of all, the thing I did was that I did my school questions, 100 questions a day. I made sure that I was consistent in that. As in, you do English today, 100 questions. Tomorrow you do physics. Tomorrow you do next tomorrow you do chemistry. Next tomorrow you do biology. So I'm a science student, so that is how I do. You can do it for another way. If you are doing maths, you use math instead of biology. So you make sure that you do not miss 100 questions a day, because think about it. If you do 100 questions today, that's 700 questions in a week. That's 3,100 questions. Just as a just as a side for you to get your questions, it's still not really part of the main things that you're learning. So make sure that you don't miss it. Even if you want to miss it, just let it be at least a day. But know that for the other days, at least 6 days in a week, you should be consistent with those 100 questions a day. It will go a long way. You will see a lot of questions that you never seen before, and if you continue to revisit your corrections, it will help you. My school has a good way of letting you go a long way in a short amount of time. Another thing you need to know is that you can attend a good tutorial. I attended a tutorial, and that really boosted me, because I wasn't really exposed to a lot of questions. But when I joined a tutorial, it really helped me, exposed me to a lot of questions, exposed me to a lot of experiences. So that helped me a lot to boost my preparation and to make sure that I stayed focused. So it's better than just staying at home. But if staying at home works for you, no problem. But for me, attending tutorial worked for me. It really helped me. So another thing I also want to share with you is the books that I use. The books that I use, especially UIPQ, by the Solid Solution publication. So they made a very good first question, and that was the one that I used to prepare for my Poshitmi. And I made sure that I solved the questions from Toto to Toto. So that really helped me a lot. And those questions they're really good. Another thing, for my physics, I used Macmillan physics. That was the textbook I used. So if we use New School, I'm not really sure about that one, but I know about Macmillan. Okay, so next, for biology, I used essential biology and modern biology. So I just mixed the two. In case I needed diagrams, I'd use essential. In case I needed in-depth explanation, I'd use modern. So English now. English, for I use The Invisible Teacher. That book is one of the best books I ever come across on English. It explains English so well to me that I can challenge you in English, and I'm very sure that I will pass, because it gives you that confidence. English Teacher has broken everything down from you from the beginning to the end. So definitely, I beat my chest that The Invisible Teacher will bring you from 0 to 100 if you want to prepare for your English. And another thing, for my chemistry, I used New School Chemistry. So the textbook, I made sure that I read every topic there that was important to me. Just like when you're talking about carbon, I made sure that I read carbon in the night, whenever before I went to sleep, I would read a chapter, maybe a non-metals. I read like three non-metals. I make sure I revise it. So that really helps. So make sure you read your chemistry textbook like you're reading a novel. So it will really help you because you're able to look at the details that you don't see in all these revision books. You see it in your new school chemistry. So that is that. I don't know about maths because I'm not a math student. Next thing you need to know is that consistency is key. Yes, a lot of smart students fail their pursuit journey because they are not consistent with their learning. They believe that if they have, I think there's 360 something. If they have 360 something in their jam, they know that okay, I'm prepared for the pursuit journey. But that's not so. Yeah, at least if it's 2 hours a day, make sure that you're using that 2 hours every day. That is what that was what we're talking about with the Myschool questions and everything. You have to be consistent with your reading. I made sure that I was consistent every morning and afternoon, even though I wouldn't read for a long span, like most people do. They'll say they read 12 hours or something like that. I would make sure that at least I read maybe like 2 hours in the morning before my chores. I'd read like for like 2 hours in the afternoon. Just like I'd pick for 2 hours, and 2 hours in the evening too. I'd make sure that I pick 2 hours, so that would total 6 hours or so. So I was consistent with that. It wasn't strenuous at all because I made it a habit. So another thing you need to know is that you should prepare early. For you, I pursue TMA, you shouldn't wing it, or you shouldn't think it's luck or anything. You shouldn't think I'll be able to just solve this amount. You should be able to prepare early for your exam. Like I prepared 8 months, started preparing officially 8 months to my exam date. My exam was February 2023, so I started preparing since June 2022. So for that amount of time, I didn't really know when the pursuit term was going to start actually, but I did make sure that I did not stop reading because I knew that any moment now they would start the exam. For anybody, it might be 3 months too. So anybody might be 2 months. You don't know the date, so you have to start preparing now so that you won't be caught without guard. Another thing you need to know is the internet really helps. Yes, the internet and YouTube. Internet and YouTube really helped a lot because any question I had, or just like for a meaning or something, I just quickly check the internet. So or maybe something like a reaction in chemistry, a formula, something like that I needed to check or something, I quickly go to the internet, search it, get the answer, and read on it. Same for YouTube. If I was looking for example, in chemistry, separation, all this fluff flotation and stuff like that, I go on the internet and check. Sometimes I go to YouTube. The animations work great for science related subjects. So that really helped me because every time I go over those questions, I just remember that hey, didn't I see this in that cartoon on chemistry, blah blah blah. So it will really help. Look at that. So another thing I want you to know is that you should aim high, aim big. Initially, I was aiming for 80. At least 80 would be okay for me to get admission. But a few months to my exam, a few weeks to my exam, I realized that 80 is just, it wasn't good enough for me. For me, actually, if you know you want to be the best, you have to aim for something that is really high. I attended a webinar or something, and they were like, aim for 100, 100 is possible, blah blah blah. I did not believe it at all. So, they were like, aim for 100. Then I was like, fine, I'll just give it a shot. Instead of aiming for 80, I'll aim for 100. So that's what I did. I aimed for 100%. So the way I prepared changed. It's the way I'm prepared. I made sure that I got each and every answer to each and every question that I came across. So that really helped me a lot. Think about it. When you aim for something, you at least get either 1 mark below it, or 10 marks below it, or 5 marks below it. So if you aim for 80, I'm very sure that I would have gotten like 75 or 79. But if I aim for 90, I would have gotten like 80 something. So that means that if you aim for 100, you can get something, a a little bit below 100, because that's how it works. Or you can even hit 100 on the spot. So that's what you should do. You shouldn't underestimate yourself. Even if you think it's impossible, just aim for it. It will work. Yes. So one more thing I advise you to do again is revision. Revision is essential. You might forget the things that you did a long time ago. If you are the forgetful type, like sometimes I forget things very easily. So I have to go back to what I did a few months ago, check it, look at the notes I've written on it, check the notes that we did, and then that will help me to refresh refresh me on what I've learned, and it goes a long way. What you revise goes a long way. So make sure that revision is part of your timetable, part of your exercise when you're preparing for UI Postutme. Yeah, so that's all that I did, and if you want to apply it, no problem. If you want to take a few points from it, no problem. But it will definitely work. It always works. I'm very sure of that. So thank you so much for staying to the end of this video. And I hope that one day you too will come and celebrate with me. So if you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section. And I hope that you will like, subscribe, and share. So please don't forget to subscribe, because when you subscribe, it makes me very happy. Okay, thank you so much. Once again, I'm Loveth. Got 90/100 in UI Postutme. Thank you so much. Bye.